Okay, Rumpel and the Evil Queen, both of them did not start off evil. Certainly, circumstances changed them, but how can I put this? How they both responded to these circumstances, which were unfairly at times thrust upon them. I believe that they reacted accordingly to their personalities and in enneagram terms, which is a type 3 and a type 8. What I found interesting is Rumpel, who is a 3, could be controlled by this dagger. Regina, who's an 8, there was no way that she was being controlled. Regina is a force not to be reckoned with. Rumpel, he is more unsettling because even though he helps people like Regina, her mother, to spin gold, which actually is a clever name to call Rumpel in the alternative reality. They all share one thing in common: anger, because that is how evil, in terms of once upon a time, gets their power. When Rumpel was teaching Cora to spin gold, he gets her to happen to her full anger to make it work. So therefore, each character, whether it's Regina or Rumpel, they actually handle their anger differently. With Rumpel, I cringed. He made me feel so awkwardly uncomfortable because of his situations that have happened to him in the past, where all his pride and self-respect was being taken away, and it was like being asked to kiss someone's boot and then being kicked in the mouth in front of his son, and Hook taking his wife off him. So I understand how Rumpel goes on a quest for power, and especially for a guy, being referred to as weak is horrible and not a thing that as a man you want to be described as by other men, whereas Hook struck fear into you. So I believe, because of Rumpel's background, that is why he likes and loves power so much. And when Belle challenges him, it has to be, his love for her or this dagger. I actually felt watching that's really unfair. It's really unfair, because when someone is asking you to drop your shield your protection and to give up your power, that would, in Rumple's case, bringing back the start again, because Rumple's first wife was totally wrong for him, and Belle would have been that gentle, moral person who would have kept him on balance. When Rumple interacts with the evil queen, you see he doesn't challenge her, because who even ill made, which was in the beginning, it was that she would have to accept his answer if he actually used the word please. And if he used the word please, Regina would overlook it. What I like about Rumple is he will do you a good turn, but he's also clever at the same time, because you have to be prepared to take a price for it, and sometimes it's as simple as him having a lock of this person's hair, and to that person it's like, okay, well, here's a piece of my hair, or because they think it's no big of a deal. But then again, if you double cross him, he'd have ways and means and spells and potions by even having a lock of your hair to hurt you, and so by doing things like that, it's his insurance. What am I trying to say? It's his insurance to manipulate your circumstances, which I actually understand, because if you have been treated badly, and this is in your past, I mean, I used to get bullied, and I know a little bit of how, it is like, if you are made to feel that bad all the time by bullies, people who hurt you, people who take your wife, or or whatever, in an act of revenge, if you could, you would manipulate circumstances that other people would have the raw end of a deal, and this is the irony of it. If you actually notice, Rumple isn't a fighter, and in order to gain the upper hand, he has to manipulate and change circumstances, because if he was in a fight, he would not cope. His only power is by being able to maneuver situations so that he has the upper hand. And Rumple is referred to as a coward, which I am screaming at my telly for, because I feel that's an unfair word to use. But like Alina, he always has something to prove, like how he was gonna show people when he joined the army. He was so happy, he was so full of himself that he was actually gonna do something, you know. And then when he realised he was gonna be on the, wait for it, the front line, he bottled it. He thought, you know, knowing he was going to lose a leg all his life, he got scared. Being scared is not a crime. It is who he is. And he would rather solve his problems in a peaceful way. Whereas Regina, somebody's gonna threaten her, she wants to fight it. So how people react in different situations based on their personality is completely different. People, and I love the character of Rumple, and even Selena, and I understand his anger when he, you know, he like howls Belle, he has a score to settle. And people like Hook, Regina, even Emma and Harming, they are fighters. And what I like about being a fighter is, if you are a fighter, is that you can either be a fighter for good or for evil. And like I have mentioned, Rumple can be controlled, and I find that so interesting, and he can go in either direction, good or evil, by whoever is wielding this blade. And I even feel like Al, he could be a good man, and there is underneath it all, you know, all this ache up and being referred to as the crocodile, there is actually something to love about him.